Hi there, Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces. Today I want to introduce you to a product for the walls called Lamstone. So Lamstone is a very thin layer of real stone that's been laminated to a sort of a man-made backing that is almost plasticky. So if you look at a sample here, you can see how thin it is. It's real stone on the face and then a sort of a man-made backing on the reverse. And that gives the stone some strength and some structure because they're slicing it so thinly to make the laminated panels. So you see it on the wall behind me. The beauty of limestone is, of course, it's natural stone. So you get all of the variety that you expect from a natural stone product. That also means that every sheet is not identical. This is not a man-made. There is some consistency between the various colors, but there is not a sameness from panel to panel. You see the figuring of the natural stone, which to me is the beauty of the product. It comes in a couple of different sizes, so 24 by 48 sheets or 40 by 80 sheets, which is what we've used on the wall behind us to minimize the seams. Because it's so thin, it can actually be cut on a table saw with a special blade called an abrasive blade. So if you have a table saw, you don't need any further equipment. You just need to get the right blade to cut through this product. And of course, proper protective wear. Because it's real stone, there are little pieces of this that are going to fly off from the cut edge as it goes through the saw blade. So do be careful about that. It's adhered to the wall with a mortar, the same as we would use for tiles, or also there's a special adhesive that, a bit like a PL, but not exactly a PL, but a fairly quick drying adhesive that can be used on the back of it. Obviously, we don't want that adhesive to seep through at the seams and come through onto the front. So we do have to be careful about that, but it's pretty straightforward to put up. And because it's so thin, it's very light. So other than the size of the panels, it is something that one person can put up on the wall themselves in most cases. So it's not a difficult product to cut or to install with the right tools, obviously. What I recommend with this type of product, because every piece is unique, I would normally lay these out on the floor ahead of time or lean them all up against a wall if you have an undivided, sort of an unobscured space where you can do that. But you want to plan out where the panels are going to lie before you adhere them to the wall. Because it's natural stone, every piece is different. So you want to see how the pattern is going to flow, how the color is going to flow. Maybe if there's a real odd piece, you're going to tuck that behind a feature of some sort or a piece of furniture. So you do want to plan ahead. Don't just start grabbing pieces from the pile and putting them on the wall and then standing back later and going, uh-oh, I don't like the way that dark one stands out from all those light ones or the way that pattern flowed. So it does require a little bit of planning like any natural material where you're going to see differences in the pieces. The range of color it's natural stone, but there are still several different colors available. So that's just a cross section of the opaque ones. They're all shades of gray. Some have more figuring than others. Some are a little bit shiny and metallic. You can see there. There are also some really neat translucent versions of this. So not a lot of colors, but there are a couple of these that come on a translucent backing so that you could create some sort of a light effect behind them. Obviously, you would frame those a little bit differently. You wouldn't be putting them up against a sheet of plywood or against a solid surface because you'd want the light to come through. But again, with a little bit of planning and some design, you could enjoy the light coming through the natural stone and really play up the figuring in the stone. So those pieces do require a little different installation, obviously, so that the light is going to come up behind them. But it is a nice option to have, and again, an incredibly lightweight material. As far as fireplaces go, with our fireplaces being electric, there are no heat issues with this. Our fireplaces have heat, but nothing that would be excessive that would damage the surface. These are good up to about 40,000 BTUs, so a lot of gas fireplaces could be used within these panels, wood burning is out of the question. These are not recommended for a wood burning fireplace. And sometimes that has as much to do with the adhesive behind them as it does with the surface itself. Obviously, stone is going to be fairly impervious to heat and fire, but it is on a man-made backer, and of course we have some sort of adhesive behind it. So they don't recommend it for any heat level over 40,000 BTU. So of course with electric that's not a problem, and even with a lot of gas fireplaces, not a problem. Definitely not wood. This is not an exterior product, and it could be used in a wet area like a shower, but there would be some sealing and some different handling involved with this. So that's something that you would have to look at the manufacturer's specs and look at whether or not you can install this in the situation that you have in mind. So again, it's a product called Lamstone. It's natural stone that's been laminated to a man-made backing. It's very, very thin, quite easy to work with and apply to the wall. It's a bit of a hidden secret. I find a lot of people haven't experienced Lamstone before, but we love it around some of our fireplaces. We like the drama of the gray coloring. You'll find it on stylishfireplaces.ca if you scroll over to fireplace add-ons and then look down to stone tiles and panels.